Okay. Here we go. That means I'm starting to talk, actually to tell another story. So, we had this thing happen across the lake, about a quarter and a half mile away, where a kid slaughtered his family, killed two parents, 3 siblings. And it's been really depressing. They're just a bad energy. And it's been all over the news, and even internationally, all over the news. So a lot of people have recognized that where this took place is where I live. And what it's done is it has brought a lot of people in my past out of the woodwork, calling, seeing what's going on. And I had one of those calls this morning. So we'll lighten things up a little bit. The guy that called is a person that I call TOWMATOR. Now, I had a tow company. He had a little tow company. He had just shit for trucks. And I named him that after that cartoon movie TOWMATOR. No, Cars. It was called Cars. And one of the characters in this cartoon was a tow truck called TOWMATOR. I think it was the truck, not some person. I only watched it once, and it was years and years ago. And it was just a piece of crap wrecker, old school. So I named this guy TOWMATOR because he had that kind of equipment, and he talked with kind of a country bumpkin kind of talk. And he just told stories. I mean, he just lied about everything. And when you have low expectations of someone and they tell lies and they're kind of humorous stories, it's okay because he's not hurting anybody. So he called this morning, and he was telling me how he's still doing a little repo work. And about 5 years ago, he had lost an arm. Now, before this, years ago, he was crippled. He had a bad hand. And one time he told me it was from a farming accident. Who knows? But he did have the crippled hand, so something along the way happened. So one of the stories he told 10, 15 years ago, I don't know how long it was, but that he was a member of the team, the Secret Service team, that guarded the president. And I'm pretty sure they don't hire crippled people, someone with a bad hand to guard the president. But I'd listen to it and I'd hear him tell that story several times, and since it didn't hurt anything, I just kind of got a kick out of it. This guy should have been a creative writer, because I mean, he came up with some of the craziest stories about what he had done, and about being a Secret Service agent. I think it was Secret Service that guarded the President of the United States. So I guess he did his time with that, and he got out of the Secret Service and he became a tow truck driver. And now, I recall being on a recovery job where he was in his truck, I was in mine, and it was this Chrysler 300 that had gone over a cliff, and it was down there quite far. We didn't see the guy because he had gone over the cliff 5 or 6 hours before, and he was one of the local drunks in the little town that we live in. He was drunk all the time, driving drunk all the time. On this country road going up to his house, he went off the road and down over a cliff. And we went up there to recover. We needed 2 trucks because it was substantially down the hill and kind of a dangerous winch out. So I'm down there. I rappel down to it to hook the cable up. And while I'm down there, I hear his cell phone going off. And so once I got the car hooked up and pulled up a little bit, 15, 20 feet away from where it ended up, the cell phone kept going off, so I went and retrieved it and thought I'd be a good guy and take a cell phone up to him. Because when we took the car back, when we recovered it, we took it by his house so he could empty it out before it went to the impound yard or the insurance yard. So I knock on the door, and we're up there, and we have the car hooked to my truck, and tell him that, he could empty the car out because he wasn't going to get it back. It was damaged so badly. And I said, and here, I have a little gift for you. Here's your cell phone. I found it down underneath the car. And he looks at me and he says, "Did you find my teeth? Did you find my teeth?" Evidently, in the wreck, his teeth came out, and they were down that hill somewhere also. And to be honest with you, if I had seen the teeth, I wouldn't have picked them up. No telling what kind of stuff this guy's got. Because he'd been with all the Fall City Tavern gals also. So, best not to touch anything that had his... Anyway, I didn't think it'd be a good idea to pick up the teeth. And I didn't see him, so I didn't pick him up, so it wasn't an issue. But I thought it was funny that he would say, did you find my teeth? And so when TOWMATOR called today, and this incident took place years ago, he brought to mind, told the story about when we were on this tow and doing this recovery, and the guy wanted to know if we had his teeth. So I thought that was it was funny at the time. I find it humorous today. And TOWMATOR's just full of these humorous stories. Now on the phone, he was in the air. He lives on the other side of Washington State now, and he says he still does repos, but not as much as he did before. And I don't know if he does or not, but he was telling me how he, since I'd seen him last, he'd lost could be either one, lost an arm because he was doing a repo, and the gal's boyfriend was actually helping him hook up the car, which, we use sneaker trucks. You don't even know it's a tow truck or capable of towing, and you just sneak in. It's got apparatus underneath, and it slides under the wheels, and you pick them up no matter what condition they're in. You just you don't even have to get out of the truck because the arms swing based on controls in the truck. You pick them up and you just drag them till you get to a safe place, generally, if you can. That's the best way to do it. And so the story that TOWMATOR's telling is that he's out on a repo and the cops are there, which the cops are never there. And this gal comes around the corner while her boyfriend is helping hook the car up to the repo truck, which doesn't happen. I mean, you do it without getting out of the truck if you can. And she has a 12 gauge shotgun and she just starts laying waste to things. And he says he got shot in the arm and 2 cops got hit. And then the cops hit her with some bullets. And so he loses his arm. They had to cut his arm off. And he says, but it's not that big a deal because they put a fake arm on him, and the hand that was bad before, he has a hand. I don't know how good those hands work that are on the end of a fake arm, fake hand. TOWMATOR's kind of a fake toe guy. But it kind of lightened the mood for me because I've been dealing with what's going on with this slaughter across the lake and hearing TOWMATOR's stories again. I just find fascinating. How can this guy keep coming up with all this stuff that's incredibly hard to believe because it couldn't have happened? Secret Service does not hire cripples to guard the president. Although with the DEI or whatever it is, diversity hiring, in order to fill quotas, maybe now they have to hire cripples to fill a position for the president's guard because they don't have enough cripples. Anyway, just a thought. Just thanks, TOWMATOR, for calling and lightening up the mood, at least in my head. Oh, I almost forgot. This is how we end it.